Something tonight. I actually just wrote down a couple notes on my way back from Binghamton. We just came off of 3 weeks of listening sessions. I guess I'm not fully convinced that those listening sessions meant a lot. I've said it before, but I don't like the fact that Tim Murray is not here. I understand that there's health issues, or there can be health issues with individuals, and this is a time when we have to be more respectful of that. I get it. There is no reason we need to be doing something that is this drastic for this town when everybody can't be in this room. And all of you know that it is not the same sitting behind the Zoom as it is sitting here and seeing the emotion and seeing people's faces. It is not the same. There's only one board member right now that probably also knows that, but hasn't experienced it in the recent months. So, to me, it is unfair to this town when they have put forth a bigger effort than has probably ever been seen in the history of Caroline, that you're still pushing forward with this, when we can't have full representation here of the people that need to vote. I don't know. You told me that Tim is going to listen to those listening sessions. I don't know that Tim has done that.
Tim has listened to every single word.
Thank you. So there's that. So after 3 weeks, and this isn't a perfect number, you'd have to go back and double check, but it's close. We're looking at something in the neighborhood of about 79 people that spoke against zoning versus 9. And I'm not talking about people that spoke for a second or third time at some of those meetings, just once per meeting. That is a huge difference. And there was people were saying that, hey, it's scary to come in there. Well, you know what? It's scary for all of us to stand up here too. We don't do this for a living. And if people had the same passion for zoning that the rest of this town has against zoning, they would have freaking been there.
Amen.
They would have been there. 79 to 9. So why are we doing this? Why are we doing zoning now? Why is this going forward still, without delay? I mentioned before that it's been said that it's to stop the uncontrolled growth in Caroline. Well, I brought forward to you folks real numbers that anybody can get off of the internet or from the town's own research. There is not uncontrolled growth in this town. And if we look back at the last 30 stinking years, 30 years, and you take out Boiseville, there's zero growth in this town. It's sure as hell not uncontrolled. And yet we're pushing forward when we can't have everybody here. We've barely grown, let alone uncontrollably grown. So why are we doing it? Is it to stop fracking? Nope. We've already done that. We passed a law. Is it to stop adult stores from coming in here? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe there's already a law in the town books for that. Is it to stop windmills or other things like that? Mark told us at the beginning of the last meeting that the only tool, it's his words, the only tool that this town has to stop these things is zoning. And that's why we're looking at it. But here's a list of things that we already stopped without zoning. Is it really the only tool? So what are you trying to stop? Big corporations and industry because of the uncontrolled growth? They're lining up on Route 79. We've got a whole bunch of them that we've seen in the last 30 years. There's none. Why are they not coming here? It's been brought up. There's no sewer, there's no water. We're not seeing these things. So where's the uncontrolled growth of those? That can't be the reason. It's not the only tool. If that's what you want to stop, is an Amazon or McDonald's coming in here, pass a stinking law again. Don't lock down the rest of the town for this. So, moving on. Is it big houses and fields? Is that really what we're most concerned about? Somebody needs to say it, because nobody's said it yet. Urban sprawl, right? Is that what you're scared of? Well, if it is, what's the one stinking thing that this zoning is not going to stop? It's not going to stop urban sprawl. It's not going to stop somebody from putting a house in a field. It's not going to do it. That's going to continue. You know, 100 years ago, everyone lived in these little hamlets because you couldn't travel 20 miles and 15 minutes like you can now. You had no choice but to congregate together and pool your resources. Guess what? That's gone. People can get wherever they need to go, and urban sprawl is going to continue. People are going to put houses in fields. And if you're stopping the farmers in any way, whether it be because raising taxes or something else, and they disappear because they can't fight the fight anymore, you're going to have more houses and more fields. You all know this is wrong right now. You all know it. There's been a lot of emotion at these meetings, including right now. People are pissed off, and that's why you're seeing some uncontrolled emotion, and some of that wasn't right, and I don't agree with it, but it's getting the better of people. You know, the less privileged and the less politically connected are the ones that are going to be hurt the most if this gets put in. And that's what Megan's referring to. There's articles out there about this. Are we smarter than everybody else who's ever done zoning to stop this? I doubt it. So back to listening but not caring. If we're really listening these last 3 weeks, and if you guys are really caring about what these people have said, and they've put in the effort to come out on their Saturdays, then you ought to host a whole stinking meeting for us to, your next meeting, that is nothing more than you five having a discussion about where we're at today and what everybody has said and what it means and why are we still going. Have that meeting right now. And at the end of that meeting, two things should be happening right now. Number one, there should already be someone in your group, maybe even Tim, that makes a motion and says, hey, we shouldn't freaking be doing this when I can't have everybody there. We're not putting up a couple street lights. We're changing the course of this town forever.
Amen.
Make the motion, make a second, and make the five of you vote on it. Do it. And then, after you have your discussion about everything that everybody's talked about, somebody make another motion. Let's end this stinking thing because the town has spoken. And they've never, in the history of Caroline, spoken louder. They haven't. And I'm sorry if you've already spent money on it and you're going to feel like it's wasted money. Maybe it wouldn't. Maybe it's not wasted. Maybe someday this will be the right thing for Caroline. Right now, it's not. So somebody in that group, make the motion, somebody second it, and host the stinking vote before we spend more money on it. That's all I have.